I'm going to ask you a similar question that I asked Jason Calacanis at Start Peninsula a few years ago, which is one of the lead investors that Growth University company that we were talking about is there and kind of found off of what's the story from a little bit of money to the greatest angel investor of all time, Jason Calacanis, something like that, Tim?
Yep.
Right. Yeah. So you have a kid. You true or false? You believe that you've been pretty gritty and resilient in the last 10 years of getting from News to Live By to Rubin in general, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So knowing that so many people, now this is kind of a generalization, knowing that so many people believe that grit and resilience and kind of participation trophy life is something that we've been pushing so much, what are you doing to teach your kid how to be resilient through these times? And maybe Tim, you can share as well, since you have kids. What are you doing to kind of push that resiliency, grit kind of mindset in them, instilled in them, so that they don't just show up, if you will?
Well, I mean, trying as he's 6 years old, but with anybody, a young person that I'm talking to, I try to relate to them that nothing is going to come easy. Nothing ever really works out the way you think it's going to. There's no clear path. There will be obstacles. I could say all day long, what matters is how you handle it. But actually what I find more productive for everybody, and this was the session I did yesterday in Georgia. The session was all about providing activities to the classroom on how to handle failure. So it was like when somebody doesn't answer your email you send them and you think that they just don't like you and you don't write them back, or they write you and say, we've chosen someone else for this job, or somebody says, hey, you need to work on this or that. You're not very good at this or that. And, the reaction for a lot of young people today is to fall apart. And so I'm trying to provide them with practical solutions to how to respond to those moments, giving them templates, guides, scripts, so they know how to handle when these situations arise, and they'll push through it because they have the tools to do so. I don't think it's very useful to just tell people a lot of rah-rah speeches. Oh, challenges are going to happen. Fight through them. Here's a meme that says it. And here's a GIF and this might help you. I'm trying to live in the real life and give people actual tools to manage these moments, because they're going to happen. They happen to all of us. They happened to me yesterday. I had a really annoying situation and time to deal with that. So, I mean, I'd rather live in the reality of giving people tools than just telling them, hey, it's going to be all right.
Yeah. And you got to go through it a lot, I guess, right? You got to live it, right? There's nothing like just genuinely living it.
No, and that's true too. I mean, there's nothing I could say that would replace real life. But when real life doesn't happen, wouldn't it be nice to have an example email you can use to respond to that tough moment, or at least to work off of? And that's the role that I play.
Yeah, and I think from my point of view, Zach, it's one of those deals where, I mean, my wife and I, we never talk to our kids like they were kids. We talk to them as if they were adults from the very beginning. And so they were never babied, and when they were put in a position, they had to handle that position, handle that whatever it was on their own. We didn't jump in and do the talking for them. They had to learn how to do that from the very beginning. So a perfect example is yesterday, Drew wanted some more schedule, more time at work. So we went and he talked to his supervisor and said he was available to do more work. And they added 3 shifts to his schedule. So you gotta put them in those positions and not be the helicopter parent.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably have more of those in the years to come. Still a little young, but
sure.
Someone who's been directly involved within the startup community for almost a decade, I want to talk to you about a serious pain point: spending a ton of time trying to understand the business landscape in the 757. That's time that should be focused on growing the business. At StartWheel, we're here to help you by compiling all of the news you need to know about in one place. Now there's no need to search multiple websites. Just head to startwheel.org and see for yourself. That's startwheel.org.